Hey guys, thank you all for coming, especially on an IPL day. Chennai vs KKR is going on. Still, you guys have joined. Glad to have you all here. So this is our new initiative by SAWO Labs, a complete new initiative. We'll be having it every month, focusing mainly on the new features that we have launched. So our focus is keenly on giving you the best product and keeping you updated in the market every week and every day, every month. So that's the main purpose. So I'm Murli, product marketer at SAWO Labs. I have Ashish, who's the product manager at SAWO Labs, and we have Ayushi, product lead at SAWO Labs. So we'll get started. Thank you guys again for coming on an IPL evening and of course Saturday evening. So the very first one is what's up with passwords. So I have a short story here, because every time I log on Amazon, I forget my ID. I go reset it. But let me give you a unique scenario. So I have a cousin at Bangalore. She has a boy kid. So what happened was 6 months back, she gave me a call and she told me that she had forgot her Amazon password and she needs these important things for a kid, which is nothing but the most sold product on Amazon, which is Pampers. So again, they come up with 400 rupees off at Amazon. So she wanted me to order it for her because she forgot the password. And it's been 6 months, and till date, I am the person who orders it for her. Still, she hasn't changed her password. She got used to asking me to order it. So this is how it all started. Password, again, is a huge burden on my head just because she forgot it. So this is my story where I start my day hating the passwords. What about you guys? Jnanesh and guys, you can always share your story. Give me some unique story. Even you would have faced some havoc with passwords. So guys, share something. Guys, you can feel free. Please unmute yourself. Share us a story of your chaos with password.
Yeah, I can say, man. Primarily, I think a lot of times during when I shop, right, I try to go to my favorite store and try to log in every time and all that, right? And try to look around because they personalize, the whole inventory for me because they know who I am and stuff, right? But it's quite a burden every time to go and log in, to the store. I wish to. It was a huge burden for me, especially during the pandemic, where I was trying to buy online a lot of things, right? And I hate the whole thing about first of all setting complex passwords, then remembering them and verifying them, right? And sometimes even websites which give OTPs as well, right? Especially during checkout or even authentication thing, it never comes.
Right.
It's a huge burden, and I couldn't end up buying things for my friends and family. It hurts.
Especially, it's not you don't get everything on Amazon. There are hundreds of websites that you explore. Probably, if you want to get a gift, you order from small guys who wouldn't have great SMS providers and all. So at the end of the day, it becomes a chaos for OTPs. So, great one. Yeah. So yeah, again we have one another chaotic story here. So what is the market? So we all have faced something. So what does the market say? Say they do samples with 1,000 people and say 1 lakh people. So this is what the market says to us. It's quite alarming though. Whenever you get to send an OTP like how Ashish said, 33% of the time it fails. And to receive an OTP, say for logging in or for signing up, it takes around 40 to 60 seconds normally. And again, if it's going to be a small site, it would take even 2 minutes. And sometimes it goes to the mail ID, sometimes to the phone number. Again, a chaos. And then third most major thing, it goes bigger and bigger. Does it become small? The chaos goes bigger and bigger. Now, 71% of the customers abandon the site during the friction in the first sign-in. say, so I remember doing, the first time when Amazon was launched. So I completely forgot the password of Amazon the second time. This is back in 2014, and still the problem prevails. I use Amazon Prime for the videos, and also every time I come to the site and then it doesn't let me in. So just not me. This is what the market says. This is what, say, 7.5 billion people are facing in the world. Complete chaos. So that's when our founder Prabhat created one small pet project. We can call it a pet project back then, but now it's a $65 million valued company. So it just didn't happen over the night. It happened in 8 months. So that's where we are right now. We are a more community-driven organization, and our complete focus is to provide fast, secure, and passwordless login experience to different take SaaS, take e-commerce. So these are our customers, and we already have around 9,000 organizations. So we have this mantra in our head. So one, to eliminate one-time OTPs and to maximize the security parallelly. So yeah, this is what SAWO does. But what are we actually trying to solve here? Not just OTPs. There are a lot of other things that comes around when you talk about authentication, when you talk about sign-up. So one being the authentication costs and this associated cost itself. Let's take a large e-commerce. Let's take Amazon itself. It has around millions of people ordering every day. So imagine, say 10% of them resetting their password in a month. These large-scale industries allocate $1 million, $2 million specifically to the cost associated with it every year. They allocate in the budget itself. So that's how chaotic it is. One. Second, again, inconvenient login experience, like what Ashish said, how I shared my experience. You'll have to create a password. You'll have, sometimes for signing up, you'll have to enter the OTP. It again takes 3-4 minutes to just get into the website. That's not going to give a pleasant experience for everybody. Third, a complex implementation. Usually, to make this authentication get into picture, to probably add this authentication in your own website, it would take at least 6 weeks of development effort. It's that complicated. And again, because you'll have to give better security, so it takes 6 weeks. Again, security itself becomes a liability here. So because people tend to give their passwords to friends. They tend to open their their login somewhere in a random random laptop of a friend's. Sometimes you use your Gmail ID for you use your social login, use your Gmail ID everywhere, and if your Gmail gets hacked, everything else gets hacked. Take my scenario: if my Gmail gets hacked, I might go bankrupt the next day because almost everything is linked to it. So these are some of the problems that we are trying to solve here. So yes, so why SAWO? Those are the problems. How have we solved it? How are we giving, what type of solution are we giving to the 9,000 plus clients that we have? One, we have maximized the security. We use end-to-end encryption. So basically what end-to-end encryption means is, so whenever someone signs up, a private key is dropped in the device, and whenever they log in the next time, we don't ask for a password. Okay, the server sends out a challenge to the user's device, and then the user device uses the private key and the public key, and then it solves it. So that's how we maximize security. And second most important thing is minimizing the expenditure that it involves. So what we do is we reduce it by 4 times. And another thing is, it usually takes 6 weeks to bring in an authentication, but with SAWO you can do it in 6 days. So that's how simplified it is. And again, coming to the final end user, we give a better and smooth user experience to the end users. You take anything, it'll at least take 3 or 4 minutes to sign up and log in, but through our authentication services, we have recorded 0.06 second onboarding. So these are what we have done. So it's a completely online solution. So I'm in our website. I'm going and logging in. The product. I'm entering my mail ID. Clicking on login without password. We have enabled that in our site also. This is for the first time sign up. So you'll have to enter your enter the OTP that you received. Or if it's going to be a new device that you're working on, you'll have to enter the OTP the first time. From the second time on, it won't be asking you an OTP. So this is our SAWO Labs dashboard. So here we are going to take Amazon as an example, and then we'll be creating an app, and then we'll be experiencing the output of the iframe. So let's get started. So quickly, I'll go take you through the analytics page. So whenever someone signs up on your website, the number of authentications shows your what happens, or how many authentications you have used in a month, in a week, in a day. So all these details you get it here. So first thing you'll have to do is we'll have to create a project. We'll have to link it with our site. So we'll do that first. I'm creating a new project. Again, so SAWO has integrated with a lot of other solutions. So you take a native app, say you have an e-commerce app, and you would like to give that app to your end consumers. So you can add our solution in Android. You can do it in iOS. And also, if you're developing an app through Flutter or React Native, you can use our solution. You'll have to just copy paste the code, and then boom, you go forward. And then desktop. And when you come to web, we have integrated with WordPress and Bubble. You go to WordPress, you have a WordPress website. It's just a plugin you'll have to install, and then you can just get started. Same goes with Bubble. For this session, we'll be going on with an HTML code to have it more simple. So I'm selecting HTML code, clicking on continue. So let's give a project name. So since I explained about my cousin, she being a mother, my Mama Earth is something that came to my mind. So we'll go on with that. Project name is my Mama Earth, and let's say my website that I'm offering my cousin some organic Pampers and all. So let's take it my Mama Earth as an example. I'm creating it. Yeah. So this is how you create a project. We'll have to create a project first, and then go on with designing the iframe. So for the experience, since we already talked about Amazon, I've already created a project, and I've deployed it in Heroku. So we'll be experiencing this Amazon flow. So say you take Amazon. So this is what basically we are going to design today. The whatever field that you need, we'll add, and then we'll change the color, we'll add links and all. This is what we're going to explain. And say you take Amazon, you'll have to enter the password and all. You'll have to say, if you want to log in, put your email ID, you enter the password. If I don't remember, I'll have to go back, sign up. So that's how chaotic it is. And again, organizations like Amazon and all, they allocate $1 million, $2 million specifically to handle these password resets and OTPs. Let's see how we have how we can overcome it. So Amazon is one thing that we are going to pick. I've chosen Amazon. I'll quickly take you through what are all features that we have currently. So again, if you'd like to have an email ID or a phone, so here in Amazon you can either enter your mobile number or email ID. Same goes here. You can change the identifier type, email or phone, or you can give both. You can see the changes on the right side of the screen here. And identity verification. So to make sure that not a bot is logging in, you can always enable Google reCAPTCHA, and then you can go forward. The other two features are the features that we've launched in this March. So I'll be taking forward once we see the basic ones that we've already launched. And then we have configuration. So you can, whenever for the first sign up OTP, you'll have to send a OTP to the mail or to the phone, right? So you can always change the messages here as per your comfort, and do it from here itself. Need not have a separate mailer integration, or as simple as that. You can finish it here. And again, session cooldown is a basic feature where if you want the customer to keep them logged in for 15 days or 10 days, you can set it here. Once it goes on the 16th day, they get logged out immediately. You'll have to enter an OTP to log in again. Till then, it's just one click. You click it, you log in. It's that simple. So this is perspective forms. And again, designs, if you'd like to change the background, I can go change the theme, say darken theme. This is like a SAWO theme, cool theme. So light black and all. So these are all default themes and colors that you can always keep and you can change. And again, if you'd like to change the logo here, so since we are going to design Amazon, I've already taken one design here. So we're going to use this as our logo, Amazon logo. I'm just copying the link, coming to the company logo URL, pasting it, and boom, you can see the Amazon logo here. I just picked only the logo, not the title. So you can go forward. And if you have your own privacy policy, you can enable it. You can put the privacy policy details here. And again, if you'd like to remove the branding, you can always disable it and enable. So for now, we'll keep it enabled. Click on save, saving it. So these are the features that were already available in SAWO. So now we'll exclusively go into the features that were launched this March. So yeah, let's go. First one is custom fields. So why do we need custom fields? We need this feature to provide an exclusive access to different users. Say you have multiple users in your organization. Let's take SaaS itself. A guy will be, let's take SaaS ERP, a guy will be there in the billing, a guy will be in there in handling phones, a guy will be handling accounting, someone in an inventory. So these guys will have different usernames, okay? And they might have a different role, they might have a different ID. So all those things have to be captured in the login screen itself. Only then behind when they log in, you can take that detail and then show them the specific screen. Same goes with EdTech also. You have student ID, you have institution ID, you have class ID. Say a first year college kid will have different screens, second year college kid will have a different one. So we'll have to capture these details initially. And these details will have multiple, they come in numbers, they come in text, and then they might have different patterns that only say only five words can be there, only 8 numbers can be there. So all those things we have handled in custom fields. We'll quickly showcase it. Go for showcase. And I'm going to my dashboard. I'm going to forms. We have custom fields. So I'm going here. I'm going to create 2 custom fields. Okay, let's take SaaS ERP as an example. We already have email ID. So assume I would like to get username. Entering the label name there, and input type, it is going to be a text. Length again, so I would like to make a rule here. The username should be minimum of 5 characters and can be maximum of 8 characters. So if you're going to enter 4 characters, what message should I say? I will say invalid user name. Okay, so whenever they enter say 9 characters or 10 characters, it will showcase invalid username. So now I'm saving it. Yep. So on the right side, you can see username. Let's create another one. We'll experience all of them together. So this one is going to be user ID. See, and I'm saying this user ID is only going to be a number. It cannot be a text. And again, I'm going to set a different rule here. I'm going to say the user ID will have, so for that, yeah, the user ID should have only numbers from 1 to 8. It cannot have 0, it cannot have 9. Okay, and the number of numbers that I can enter there, say it should be only a 6-digit number. It should not be 5, 4, or 7, or 8. It should be 6-digit number, and it should be from 1 to 8 only. So that's the main purpose of regex. So for you go to Google, you type regex, you will get all the formats that you want for PAN number, for every rule that you have, you can add it. So that's the main purpose of regex here. So let's say if it's going to be different, I will say invalid user ID, and then we save it. So these are the 2 custom fields that we have entered. Now let's go and experience this. I've saved it. So since I've deployed this particular project in Heroku, the Heroku link will be shared in chat. You guys can click it and experience it. I'll showcase it first. So this is our screen. This is in the screen is only where you will land. Yeah, Ashish has shared feeling. So in the screen is where you land. Click on login on the top right corner. Okay. So here you can see our logo that we wanted. Email ID, you can provide your own email ID. We don't have any restrictions set. So I'm going to provide mine. And username, it has to be minimum 5 characters. Let's say I'm typing MURAL. It doesn't, MURA. It says invalid username. So I'm typing 23. So smoothly. Okay. So because it has to have only characters. And now I'm going to user ID. Again, user ID cannot have. It has to be between 1 to 8, right? So I'm entering an ID, and then we click on login without password. So it asks for a password. It asks for the OTP, and then you'll have to enter the OTP. Second feature is advanced styling. So when you go out to a party, you get dressed, you style yourself, you go in a more pleasant way, in a more appealing way. Same comes within a website also, where you go out, maybe 100 people may look at you, but you design a website, you might get at least 100 people will view at you in an hour or probably in a day. So you definitely have to have an increase, a better user appeal, and you definitely have follow the brand guidelines. You take Amazon, they have a separate color code. You take Facebook, they have a separate blue color code. You would have known. So to increase the user appeal and to follow the brand guidelines. Second, again, it reduces a lot of effort, because to make these changes, you would have to you'll have to take the help of a developer, change the codes. You need a designer to work on it. You need 3-4 people to just style the iframe itself. So it requires a lot of effort, a lot of follow-ups. And again, when a lot of members involved, cost increases. So let's see how we have smashed all these challenges and how we have made it much more simpler. So we have fonts, we have design here. So in design, we have advanced styling. I'm going to editable. So here we have the HTML code. We can change this. So I'm going to Amazon. So this is Amazon's button. So now we are going to change our CTA, the button, to this color. So I already have the color code of Amazon. Let's say, take this as an example. So we come here, we can change a lot of things here. So one, we're directly going to change the button color first. So the button background is what I'll have to change. I'm selecting it and I'm pasting the color code that I want. The color has changed here. And say if you'd like to change the border width of of email ID of username, I can say from 2 pixels, I can change it to 20 pixels. I'm sorry, probably we can have it as 6 pixels. So automatically this border width gets strong, and then the same goes with, say if you'd like to change the border color to the same, to follow the brand guidelines, you copy paste it. The brand and the border colors have changed. So likewise, you can change the input label. You can give a color code, and for the fields itself, for the labels itself, you can give a color code. You have input label. You'll have to change the background color here. So that's how it works. So we'll click on save and experience it right now. I'm going to the screen. I'm refreshing it. So here, boom, you can see the change in the color, the border, everything has changed. So guys, you can again refresh the screen. You will definitely see the changes. Okay, third and last but not least, third is probably the best feature we have launched out of all the 3. So it's giving restricted access to certain set of people. So let's take SaaS as an example. So these SaaS guys, they don't go on a large launch with the first initial product itself. They go with the pilot launch, and then say, let's take an e-commerce app is what an organization is doing. They would first give it to say 20 customers, or first 50 customers, first 100 customers. They will test it out. Only then they will go for a larger launch. They'll add more features. So to make sure that only a set of people get to access it, they can give a restricted access. Probably they can get the email ID, phone number, and then add it in our solution, and then they can restrict the access of others doing it. So only guys with a specific mail ID can get to use the pilot. So effective for pilot launches, seamless for pilot launches. Second thing is exclusive paid access. You take tech companies. No, not everybody can log in and then check it out. Only a specific type of students who have enrolled for specific courses get to experience it. So that's, you get given exclusive paid access to a certain set of people. Third being, take apartment communities. I currently live in an apartment and we use an app. So only called MyGate. Only the internal members would be able to access the app. So whenever a guy comes in the gate, so I get a notification on the mobile. Only I get to see the notification, not anybody else. So for apartment communities, this one is going to be a great use, apartment community apps like MyGate. So now let's see how it actually works in the solution. So for that, I'm going to forms, restricted access to Google Sheets. So this is where you'll have, if in case this doesn't pop here, you'll have to go to projects and then enable it in the first place. So you'll have to enable it here. If you have enabled it, it will reflect. If not, you'll have to enable it. So yeah, click on forms, restricted access to Google Sheets. So we'll have to fetch these numbers from our customers and put it here. So I'll quickly take you through on how to create a sheet, how to add these details. So we'll have to create a Google Sheet. The header should be named as identifiers, bold. We can enter the numbers. Numbers should have 91, the country code in front. And you'll have to enter the mail IDs here. And all these mail IDs should be a link. So it should be as a link, only then it will come in. And this access can be given up to 50 people. So maximum number we have given is 50. Now let's quickly go forward. So data access the sheet that we have. So these are the details that I have in hand. So what I'll do is I'll have to make this sheet a public sheet. Only then the solution would get these details. I'll copy this link. I'll share this link in the chat so that you guys can also add your numbers here. And then you can, while experiencing, you can put your mail ID and then it will let you in. Or else it will not let you in to experience. You can put your phone number, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, edit access is given, so you can go in and then add details. Ashish has also shared it. Feel free to put your numbers, put it with 91. It's going to be a mail ID. Put your mail ID and then make it a link. And guys who don't want to put your mail ID, you don't have to. Still, you can experience it because when you click on login, it will not let you log in. So that's how it is. Even that will become an experience for you. Here we have some data there, so I'll copy paste the link that I've got. And then when I click on validate sheet, yes, it gets validated and all the 6 numbers have been added, 6 data have been added. Now I'm clicking on saving it. Boom, it's updated. Now what I'll do is we'll go to the screen, we'll refresh it. So I'll enter a random mail ID that I've not added there. This mail ID I have not added there. So it says not authorized to proceed further because this doesn't have access. Now we'll go with another one that I've already added. Let's take the first one and then we'll check it out. Clicking on login. So now it has taken me to the OTP script. This is how it works. Only specific set of people get to experience it.